it's chilling there when you do that shit. That's why I tell you, I saw the show. You know what I'm saying? That's why
It is what it is. I'm here where I'm supposed to be, and we running their back for a reason. Come on now. They not gonna let their baby boy lose like that. They cash cow lose like that. They ain't gonna let them go out like that. So.
Gervonta Davis has left fans puzzled, critics worried, and the boxing world uneasy just weeks before his big rematch with Lamont Roach II. The fight, set for August 16, 2025, in Las Vegas, carries the weight of their controversial first match, and now there's even more pressure due to Davis's odd behavior, silence on important issues, and the growing uncertainty around him. While the first episode of Netflix's Uncut, Gervonta Davis vs. Lamont Roach shows some of the tension, the real concerns about Davis seem to run much deeper behind the scenes.
I think you were one of the few that kind of picked Lamont to begin with. Why was that?
I sparred with Lamont. I knew that he was a good fighter. He helped me get ready for the Oscar Valdez fight. And I knew his style, with Tank style, what he was going to be able to bring to the table. I knew it. So.
Did you really win 20 rounds?
I swear to God, on my daughter's life, I won that much money.
How different does a rematch look in
In the first episode of the series, titled Face to Face, Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. sit opposite each other in a tense stare-down. Davis, usually calm and composed before fights, remains quiet and hard to read, but that's part of the concern. In contrast, Roach looks sharp, focused, and confident as he speaks clearly and with purpose. The Netflix episode gives a glimpse into the mental battle leading up to the fight, but what's happening behind the scenes is even more troubling. Davis's recent behavior has left fans and boxing experts wondering if the undefeated WBA lightweight champion is truly ready to return to the ring.
If I'm the champ, you can't come in here and outpoint no champ. You're not about to outpoint him unless you just beat the living shit out of him. Right. You gotta take that. You gotta knock him down. Yeah. You gotta knock him out. Like, it's the champ. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they went in there and they both punching each other hard. Bow, 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 bow. But I feel like Tank did his thing a little more than him. But at the end of the day, like, you ain't took shit, Roach. You just lasted. You lasted and you had a...
Their first fight in March 2025 ended in a surprising majority draw, with Lamont Roach going toe-to-toe with Davis, something few saw coming. But it was the ninth round that grabbed the most attention. Not for a knockdown, but for a strange moment when Davis, looking confused, suddenly knelt mid-round and jogged to his corner to get his face wiped. The referee stopped the fight briefly, unsure of what was going on. Many viewers saw it as either a physical breakdown or a mental lapse, and the moment has since sparked endless replays and online debates.
The edge heading into the rematch?
Neither one of them. Lamont, you know what, I'm lying. 55-45 Lamont.
Why?
Lamont got the edge because he already did the unexpected. He was supposed to get knocked out coming up from 130, and not only did he not get knocked out, he performed and possibly won the fight. That's what some people believe. I thought it was a very close fight. I think, but after you asked me that question, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think Lamont.
Either way, the moment raised serious questions, and those questions have only grown louder in the months since. Episode 1 of the series doesn't shy away from it. The scene is briefly replayed in slow motion, with commentary that carefully avoids drawing clear conclusions. But fans online aren't holding back. Many describe the moment as strange, concerning, and possibly medical. Reddit threads are still actively debating what really happened in round 9.
Match with Roach versus Gervonta can actually be more exciting than the first one. In my opinion, I've said this many times, the actual fight itself wasn't that crazy. The crazy thing is what you've never seen before, the knee. But as far as a boxing match, it was, if you look at the copy box, they didn't throw a lot of punches. It wasn't like, it wasn't really a great fight. But as far as the fight itself, the second one can't, because
Some think Davis was simply exhausted. Others believe he might have had vision problems, and a few even say it could have been a panic response. Whatever the reason, that moment shifted the momentum of the fight and has continued to hang over the upcoming rematch. Now, as the rematch approaches, the signs are becoming more worrying. Roach has publicly hinted that Davis still hasn't signed the fight contract. In an interview earlier this month, he didn't confirm or deny Davis's involvement, but spoke with a smile that seemed to say more than his words. On social media, Roach posted cryptic messages suggesting the fight might not happen. While he didn't directly accuse anyone, his posts made it clear he's frustrated with the lack of communication from Davis's side.
The person who knows Tank, who's been around Tank his whole life, this is a different fight. You can't put Roach to the side like that. I'm sorry. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to win the fight. I don't know that. But Roach cannot be this underrated like that. You understand me? You got to understand that Roach came from basically the same ecosystem as Tank came from. Roach is a very formidable opponent. So I'm not going to talk about none of that till we get by Roach. Because what I'm telling you about the other.
When asked directly if he thought Gervonta Davis was avoiding him, Roach replied, "I wouldn't say he's afraid of me as a man, but he's afraid of being humiliated. That's his problem." It wasn't a throwaway comment, it was a direct shot at Davis's current image, or what some see as the fading of it. Davis's response was brief. He posted once on social media saying, "There's nothing more to say. I'm going for the rematch." But instead of settling doubts, the short message only fueled more speculation. There was no follow-up, no video, no training clips, just silence. And in professional boxing, where confidence, hype, and media presence are expected, silence from a champion usually isn't a good sign.
Good speed and a really good boxing ability. A lot of people underrate that. Don't think because of what I did, y'all think y'all can just go in there and think y'all can have the same night, you know what I'm saying, or do the same thing. He still will go upside your head and crack you, and you know what I'm saying, you might end up on the floor. Everybody not built the same.
The Netflix Uncut series gives viewers a closer look at the tension surrounding the rematch, but even it doesn't reveal what's really going on in Davis's camp. The show leans into suspense, zooming in on Davis's blank expressions, showing empty gyms from above, and cutting to intense clips of Roach in training. On Davis's side, things stay strangely quiet, adding to the mystery. Meanwhile, Roach isn't standing still. He's already looking ahead, even calling out the winner of Devin Haney vs. Brian Norman Jr. It's a bold move for someone just days away from a major rematch, but it shows confidence. Whether that confidence is earned or just overconfidence remains to be seen, but compared to Davis's silence, Roach's approach feels more like leadership.
It's actually quite a tough fight, and Shakur said to me, like even the day before, "I'm telling you, he's going to have big trouble tomorrow night." And I just feel like hopefully this could be the little something that gives Gervonta a little wake-up call to take him back to the mindset of maybe where he was.
From a technical point of view, fans haven't forgotten the numbers from their first fight. Davis landed just one more punch than Roach, hardly a meaningful edge. Roach even scored a knockdown that many believe was wrongly ignored by the judges. If that knockdown had been counted, it might have been enough to give Roach the win. That moment still stirs debate online, especially among fans who feel Roach was denied a deserved victory. On platforms like Reddit, the frustration is clear. One user wrote, "That knockdown was weird. If it had been counted, Roach wins. With the punch stats being basically even, yeah, he should have taken it." Many others agree, saying Davis looked shaky and possibly unprepared in their first matchup.
I think so, for sure. And, you know, you had mentioned that they've known each other since childhood.
Yeah.
So maybe that had something to do with that first fight. But now they've fought, they've gotten that experience out of the way. So I think we're going to see both of them a lot more locked in.
Way better, yeah. Definitely more locked in.
All of this puts a lot of pressure on Davis. Even those who think he'll win the rematch admit it won't be easy. He has faced challenges before, both mentally and physically. In past training camps, he's dealt with legal issues, rumors of inconsistent workouts, and struggles with his weight. The quietness around his current camp is making people worried instead of excited. For Roach, the pressure is different. He's the underdog but comes in with strong momentum. In every interview, social media post, and even in his body language on Netflix Uncut he looks like a fighter ready to seize his chance. He shows no doubt. And if Davis doesn't show up on August 16th, Roach will be ready to move forward without regrets.
This is supposed to step up and show the level that he's on.
Right.
And I always say it's about boxing. Boxing does itself a disservice by not promoting both sides. If you did a better job promoting Lamont Roach, people would have expected that fight to be what it ended up being. It was a good boxing match.
Right.
And in a lot of ways entertaining for multiple reasons, but you know, I think if anything, we know that Lamont is on the road to Tank Davis.
In episode 1, Davis isn't completely absent, but the difference in energy between him and Roach is clear. Roach comes across as open, confident, and ready to fight, while Davis stays guarded, giving short answers and avoiding eye contact. It's hard to tell if this is just him being reserved or if there's something deeper going on. Adding to the tension is the location, Las Vegas. This isn't just any fight night, it's one of the biggest boxing cities in the world, where any mistake, whether in the ring or during promotion, is blown up. Sponsors, the press, and fans are all watching closely. The Nevada State Athletic Commission will also be keeping a close eye, especially after the confusing 9th round in their first fight. If anything like that happens again, it could lead to serious medical, regulatory, and reputation problems.
I think his footwork is a little bit better than Roach. I think his movement, stuff like that, is a little bit better. So I think if he, get Roach out of his rhythm, kind of get him off balance, Tank gonna get him out of there. Not saying Tank can't knock him out now. Don't get it twisted now just because he didn't knock the dude out or whatever. No, don't think he can't. Like I said, I get Roach's problem.
Roach has faced a lot of doubt since his controversial draw with Davis in March 2025. Even though he moved up in weight and matched the WBA lightweight champion punch for punch, many believe the result was more about Davis not being himself than Roach's strong performance. Analysts, fans, and even some fighters have called the fight an off night for Davis, pointing to the strange ninth-round moment when Davis suddenly jogged to his corner to have his face wiped during the round as a sign something was wrong. That moment, along with Davis's usual lack of dominance, led some to think he wasn't mentally ready for the fight.
And as you see here, he's posting his black Nike boots. Now, technically, we usually say when you have Nike Air Force Ones, the black ones, that means some sort of bad energy. You gonna bring it. It's a thugging thing. And he's showing the Nike boots and saying it's time. He's going underground, and Lamont Roach.
The ongoing narrative has clearly struck a nerve with Roach. He doesn't just see it as a slight against his performance, it feels like a dismissal of the preparation, discipline, and skill he brings to the ring. Rather than ignoring it, Roach has decided to respond with intensity. In a recent training session captured on YouTube, Roach was hammering away at a heavy bag when he abruptly turned to the camera and declared, "Gervonta will be the reason I catch a body in this fight." The moment was intense and unsettling. One of his trainers, standing nearby, backed him up without hesitation. "The champ doesn't lie. That joker will be the reason he catches a body." Believe that?
I don't know, honestly. I really don't know. It's a 50-50 fight. It's a 50-50 fight. I don't know, honestly. I really don't know.
Does a lot of it hinge on Gervonta and like which version he shows up with? And no disrespect to Roach, but you know what I mean.
No, that is disrespect for the Roach, and like y'all fight fans gotta realize that.
In the boxing world, the phrase "catch a body" carries heavy controversy. It's slang for delivering a knockout so brutal it could cause serious injury, or worse. The term drew widespread attention in 2019 when heavyweight Deontay Wilder publicly stated he was still looking to add a body to his record. The backlash was immediate, with critics calling the remark reckless, irresponsible, and dangerous.
If y'all casual fans, or
Kurt is a aficionado on boxing.
Aficionado. So as an aficionado, then like if I'm the champ, you can't come in here and outpoint no champ. You're not about to outpoint him unless you just beat the living shit out of him. Right. You gotta take that. You gotta knock him down. Yeah. You gotta knock him out. Like it's the champ. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they went in there and they.
Roach's use of the phrase has sparked similar debates, largely because of the circumstances surrounding it, a rematch against an opponent who already seemed physically and mentally off in their first encounter. The exact intent behind Roach and his trainer's words remains unclear. Was it calculated mind games or something more personal? Either way, the message is loud and clear. Roach is coming in with full force, and this time, he plans to leave no room for doubt. Meanwhile, Mario Barrios, a former opponent of Davis who was stopped by Tank in 2021, shared his thoughts on the rematch during an interview with Low Kick MMA.
It's been a knockdown, and the commission messed that up. But in the rematch, I like Tank in a good fight.
Barrios acknowledged Roach's strong showing in their first bout, calling it highly competitive and highlighting the controversy over an unscored knockdown. "Especially with that knockdown, they didn't score it a knockdown," he said. "I don't know what you want to call that." Many believe that moment, if properly scored, could have shifted the judge's decision in Roach's favor. Still, despite giving Roach credit, Barrios leans toward Davis in the rematch. "I think in a rematch, I'm still giving the edge to Tank," he said. Not taking anything away from Roach, he's a damn good fighter himself.
That scared me a little bit. I'm a big Tank fan. You know what I'm saying? That scared me a little bit. We got the fire in his stomach after what happened, but I'm going Tank. I believe he the best at it. I wonder if he's still hungry though. You know what I'm saying? I'm going Tank. All right.
He proved a lot in that first fight. I think he surprised a lot of people, Barrios said. So I expect the rematch to be very competitive. But yeah, I'd still lean toward Tank. That measured assessment from Barrios reflects what many fans believe. Roach exceeded expectations, but Davis remains the favorite. Roach, however, is determined to change that narrative. In a recent interview with Give Me Sport, he made it clear that he's not intimidated by Davis's reputation or past dominance. Instead, he's focused on what he believes are clear vulnerabilities, and he's paying close attention as Davis sends mixed signals to the public.
I do know how the fight will be different. The rematch.
With a different strategy.
Yeah, I can't speak on it, but yeah, it's definitely going to be different. Way different.
See, you're smiling and you're excited about it, and you can tell that that's like a coaching thing. That a lot of the fans, they tend to.
One of the major storylines leading into the fight is Gervonta Davis's apparent interest in retirement. He's alluded to it multiple times on social media and in short interviews, raising questions about his focus. For Roach, that signals something deeper, a possible lack of commitment. Honestly, I think that's the wrong thing to say to a guy like me, Roach said. Because I'm going to try and exploit that. He's got 1 foot in and 1 foot out of boxing. To me, it really looks like he wants to leave the sport. Still, Roach isn't underestimating Davis. He made it clear that his camp is preparing for the best version of Tank, not the one who seemed off in their first fight back in March, or the one distracted by retirement talk, but we're training for the best Gervonta Davis that can show up, Roach emphasized. No shortcuts. We're not tailoring anything around his comments, we're focused on the elite fighter he is. He's definitely pound-for-pound talent, a damn good fighter. But I see weaknesses. And I plan to exploit them?
I think it was competitive. I feel like with them having I feel like the relationship that they got, or they had, as far as coming up together and kind of knowing the same people, working with the same people, it kind of was more of the fight was more of like I feel like so Roach came out and fought.
One of the most compelling aspects of this rivalry is its roots. It isn't new. Roach and Davis go way back. They've known each other since childhood, first crossing paths on the amateur circuit around age 10. According to Roach, they sparred as teens and may have even fought twice in their early years. That shared history has created a sense of calm confidence in Roach. He doesn't view Davis as invincible, nor does he see himself as the underdog. In fact, Roach believes his long-term familiarity with Davis's style, tendencies, and mindset gives him a unique edge. Roach describes himself as a cerebral boxer-puncher, a fighter who relies on more than just power or pressure. He's strategic, adaptable, and constantly thinking in the ring, setting traps and adjusting on the fly. That thoughtful approach could work in his favor, especially against a fighter like Davis, known for his explosive counters and compact power, if Davis shows the same hesitation or caution he did in their first meeting.
Training at a high level for the last 3 months. While Roach has been out here just, I want to fight. So that's probably 3 months gone. And hopefully Roach is.
As the rematch draws near, one thing is clear, Lamont Roach Jr. isn't trying to prove he belongs in the conversation, he believes he already does. What he's chasing now is validation, the kind that comes from defeating a name like Gervonta Davis, and doing it convincingly. Whether his explosive comments about catching a body were pure hype or calculated mind games, they show just how far Roach is willing to go to make his statement. How do you see this rematch playing out? Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for the latest updates.